Hi everyone, today we're going to be looking at the Ninja DT201 Foodie XL Pro Air Toaster Oven. The unit has 10 specifically tailored cooking functions, so we apply 4 of our curated tests to see if the oven actually delivers. Our tests include toasting 2 batches of 4 slices of bread back to back, baking a 9-inch pizza, roasting a 3-pound whole chicken, and baking 12 ounces of frozen fries. Now, let's see how we do it. Test number 1. Toast or toasting bread, 8.3 out of 10. The first thing we need to do is make sure all 8 slices of bread are roughly the same weight. We then place the first batch of 4 on the wire rack and slide them into the Ninja on the toast level 5, the best option after trying all the 7 levels. You can see some vapor on the glass door, but it's just the moisture from the bread and should be no problem. At level 5, which automatically set the timer for 5 minutes and 15 seconds, the 4 pieces of toast mostly received a light golden brown color. However, there were various areas that were a bit darker or lighter, possibly due to the bread's varying thickness. The unevenness in surface color, especially on the bottom, prevented us from scoring it higher than 8.5 out of 10. Interestingly, this unevenness in the bread gave it a variety of textures throughout, which deserved another 8.5 out of 10. Our head chef determined the toast would go great with pretty much everything, including omelets, sandwiches, eggs benedict, and soup. For the immediate second batch at the same toast level, the oven automatically reduced the time to 4 minutes. This time, the toast had a more even brown color than the first batch. However, there was a more apparent unevenness on the bottom, with colors that ranged from white to dark brown. Nonetheless, nothing was burnt, so it did not taste bitter. The extra crispiness made the toast even better for soup. All in all, the oven got a 7.8 out of 10 for consecutive usability. Test number 2. Baking pizza, 6.5 out of 10. To conduct our pizza test, we first need to preheat the Ninja to an internal temperature of 450 degrees F. It only took around 14 minutes and 13 seconds, whereas the average toaster ovens take approximately 15 minutes or more. After preheating, we place the baking pan and the pizza at tray level 3, as suggested by the digital display. The oven only took 5 minutes to bake the pizza compared to the recommended 10 minutes on the label. According to our standards, this deserved a whopping 10 out of 10 for cooking time. Unfortunately, despite having the convection system on low, the crust was only golden on the side closest to the fan. The other half of the crust lacked color. In addition, such a short amount of time wasn't enough to crisp any of the crust, even the golden side. Thus, we could only give the crust a 6 out of 10. The reason we had to stop the cooking so early was that the meat and the bell peppers on the golden half of the crust were beginning to char. Luckily, the toppings on the other half cooked properly. However, it seemed the cheese didn't have enough time to melt, so the toppings only got a 5 out of 10. Considering the state of the crust and the toppings, our chef gave the pizza a 6 out of 10 after tasting it. Our pizza test was one of the few occasions where we felt the Ninja didn't measure up to its potential. We suspect the score would be better if we were baking a fresh pizza instead of a store-bought 9-inch thick crust meat pizza. Test number 3. Roasting a whole chicken, 9 out of 10. For this test, we'll preheat the Ninja to an internal temperature of 350 degrees F, which only took roughly 8 minutes. The strength of the Ninja really shined through in our whole roasted chicken test. We placed our 3-pound whole chicken in the air fryer basket with plenty of room to spare and slid it onto tray level 3. We also placed a baking pan below to catch any drippings. With this test, we were able to confirm the manufacturer's claim that food in this oven didn't need to be turned, especially when using its air fryer basket. Nonetheless, to stay consistent with our test parameters, we still flipped the chicken after the first 25 minutes. The oven took only 40 minutes to cook the chicken all the way through and to create an appetizing looking and crispy skin. It was one of the fastest cooking time among our toaster ovens and deserved a perfect 10 out of 10, on par with the Cosori CO130-AO, which uses a rotisserie kit. The skin was evenly golden from the bottom to the top. It also crisped up nicely around the tips of the wings and drumsticks, as well as areas with a lot of fat. However, it would seem the surface of the chicken cooked so quickly that a lot of the fat didn't get rendered out from the skin. Thus, while the outer layer of the skin was crispy, the inside was soft. The skin's softness from the remaining fat unfortunately prevented it from scoring higher than 8.5 out of 10. Checking with the meat thermometer, we found the chicken's internal temperature to be 194 degrees F to 199 degrees F, which is quite high compared to the USDA recommended of 165 degrees F to 180 degrees F. This was the reason why we didn't continue cooking longer for better skin caramelization. Our chef was afraid that we'd overcook the chicken. After carving the chicken, we found no pink spots in the meat and gave it an 8.4 out of 10 for doneness. With such a short cooking time, the meat remained delightfully juicy. Also, taking into account the texture of the skin, our chef gave the chicken a 9 out of 10 for taste. Test number 4. Baking or air frying fries, 8.1 out of 10. To prepare for our air frying fries test, we need to preheat the Ninja to 400 degrees F, and it takes only 13 minutes and 15 seconds. When the temperature is reached, we take 12 ounces of fries out of the freezer and spread them evenly onto the air fry basket with a baking pan below to catch any debris. We then slide both accessories onto tray level 3. With this oven, our chef had to balance the cooking time with the color of the fries. If we stopped baking too early, the thicker fries would lack color. If too late, the thinner fries might be burned. We also gave the fries a toss after the first 13 minutes. "17 minutes in, we checked the fries and decided it could use a couple more minutes. The oven took 19 minutes to bake the fries, which was enough for a 7.7 out of 10. The fries colors ranged from light golden on the thicker ones to golden brown on the thinner ones. This unevenness resulted in a 7.5 out of 10. The colors of the fries largely reflected their texture. The longest and thickest fries had a slightly crispy outside and a very moist interior. Meanwhile, the shortest and thinnest fries were completely crispy all the way through. The silver lining was that the average-sized fries got perfect crispy surfaces with moist interiors. While the texture varied, none of them were bad, so we gave the overall batch an 8 out of 10. Considering the varied colors and texture of the fries, our chef awarded them a respectable 8 out of 10 after her taste test. In conclusion, the Ninja DT201 performed differently on each of our tests, but even at its worst, it still gave good results. Taking into account our design and usability tests, we awarded the toaster oven an overall 8.6 out of 10 and the title of our best large toaster oven. If you want to check out how we also test the Ninja's design and usability, head over to our article on healthykitchen101.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in our next video.